Welcome to Ezi Solution System. Ezi Solution.site is authorized representative of Ezi Solution System. And here today we want to be able to show you on ESR, that is Ezi Solution Restaurant. We want to show you how to set up tables. Okay, you can see here we already set up some tables here. These are table. I made table 1, table 2 and table 3. You can see all my table, but everything is set up. But I'm going to show you more on how to set up the table. Then to set up the tables, you need to look at, like here I have so many tables. I have group 1, which is I have table 1 to 45. Then group 2, I have more table to 90. Group 3, I have table to 135. And group 4, I have table to 180. Group 5, I have table to 225. The reason why I set up these tables in this way, because the company, they have over 35 waiter and waitresses, and they use different whenever they come to work, they assign themselves their own table. And since no one can enter into another person's table, what they do is that whenever they come, all the waitress and waiters, what they do is that whenever they come, they will choose their own table. One person may decide to choose from 1 to 10, meaning that is the table the person will be using that day. And once the person has decided, let's say reserve, it automatically assigns to that person. The person is going to be the one that will be using the table. So now once you reserve these tables for yourself, no one again can make use of it. Once the system is configured in a way that no one can log into another person's table, because you need to do that from the maintenance in your setup. You need to go here, then come over here. Once you enable allow staff to serve same table, once you enable this, it means that all the staffs can only log in. Every staff can be able to go into every other person's table. That is when you are setting up the system that you want every staff. Let's say you have one person that is in charge of the table, in charge of the system, so that person can be able to be checking out, but in a way that each of them control themselves and check out by themselves. You need to enable this. You don't need to enable this, so that no one can be able to log into another person's table. That is the function of this. So here I did not enable it. It means that no staff can be able to go into another person's table. That is the meaning of that. So we are back here. Here, first I want to talk about how to set up table. Okay, I'm looking at empty space I can use to set up table for you, because everywhere is fully occupied. So in that case, I don't have much, so I'm going to do editing. So what I do here is, let me use this. So what I do here now is control right click button, control plus right click button. That means one of your hand will be on your control key, then you right click your mouse. It will come up for you to set up the table. Then from here you see the quote. This is all you need. This is the word table on quote like this. I'm going to copy it and show you very well in a different place. Can you see it very well? So table. So I continue. Sorry, there is some interruption that just come in. Okay, now another waitress can make use of their own table, but I want to make it very clear for you to configure the system that no one can enter another person's table. It means in the configuration page, maintenance, system setup, you are going to go to POS and you are going to check this particular place and save it. Now once you have saved this, it means no one will be able to enter into another person's table. Once you reserve a table, that table is completely made for you. And once you do that, in the configuration of the users who's supposed to, okay, let me choose this particular user for example. Then I have set up this person. This is the access of the person that is going to be serving, that is waitress or waiter. Now once you have configured it like this, every other thing, okay, if you want to allow them to create customer's name, you enable this. That's all. Nothing again should be enabled for this page. And you go into here, then come over here, disable, date and time disable, price disable. Then everything here you can disable them, except you want them to have access to give discount. You can enable the discount, but if it's not needed, disable them. Then disable all this reprint and so on. Once you have disabled everything, including the quantity here is also disabled. So once you have done all these settings for this particular person, it means that this staff cannot enter another person's table. But when you put 3 here, this staff will have access to enter another person's table. But when 2 is here, this staff cannot have access to enter someone's table. Then when you put 1 here, it means that you are not allowing them to check out. That they are going to make all their transactions and leave everything on the table. Print docket and all those things can be done, but they will not be permitted to check out. That means at the end of the day, the staff of the company is going to be the one that will check out all the tables. The accountant or the person that is in charge. So they can place all their order, move everything to table and so on, but they cannot be able to check out. That is when this place is 1. But when this place is 2, they can be able to check out. But when you put it 1, they cannot check out. So when you put 3, they can be able to enter another person's table. Hope it's very clear. So this is the settings you need to have. And just like as I said, you decide if you want them to be able to go into another person's table by enabling here. So that is all. Now back to the table, like I was trying to explain before. Now the tables can be set up like all these tables you see here. This is how I was able to set them up. To set up a table, all you need to do is this. Just like as I have 1, 2, all these are my tables. It is completely different from menus. These are menu buttons, menu buttons, menu buttons. Menu buttons are the buttons that when you click here, you can use this place for all the products. When you click another one, you can use it for all the products. If you click here, you can use it for all the products. It is the same way I use this one as menu button, and I call it group table. Now you cannot use here for all the products, but instead of product here, I use it for all my tables. Then I make here again as menu button. Then I use this one for all my table. I make here again as menu button. I use this one as all my table. So the menu button creation is the same way of creating the menu button here, which is to create a menu button is click on shift on your keyboard and right click, then you will be able to make a menu. So here you can be able to change anything you want to change. You can change the size you want this right up to be. You can change the color you want of the middle. When you click on the text color, you can be able to change the color you want the right up to be. Then you can at the same time change the font size. You want to be bigger, you want to be smaller, you want everything, you can change it from here. Then if you want the right up to be bold, is here. Then you type anything, the menu button you want to type. I look at it here, it's an item menu button. I mean edit menu button. Now look at here, I have said it now. This is actually menu. Now this particular menu button you are seeing here is when you click on it, everything here turn to a button for products. Now if it's the one that I want to use for table, I just click here, I use this as menu. Then I want to change all this to button. This is how we create it. This one is to make all this table is control. Remember the menu is shift, right click. When you click on shift, your hand is on the shift. Then you, like here, and I want to show you how I create this on shift. Then I click right click, then it is called menu button. Now I can now call it what I want to call it here, change the size and the color I want it to be, and I save. Then it will become menu. The same thing I did here. Then shift that is on your keyboard, use your one of your hand to hold it, whereby the other hand will click the right click of your mouse. Then that is how I created all this very one. Then now I can now begin to create tables inside them, which you have to create the table now is control. Your hand will be on control key and right click. Now this is the button. When you change this, okay, here now I call it table. Now this table can change between room and table, but what I want you to take note of, this quote that started here and this one that ended here and the hash that is in the middle, that is what is much important. I remove the other one. You can call it 01. Then the next table now is going to be 02. You can be typing it down same way, continue. But what appear on the table outside, this is exactly what make it to become a table, and the button will start functioning as a table. But the name you want the table to show, or what will be showing on the table names, this is what you type here. Whatever you type here is what show. So if it's room I want to configure, and I have written room here, room 101 for example. Now this is a room 101. So if you like, you can change here again to room, or you can leave it table like this. But the most important is that this is what show up, and this is a code to make it. If you want to do another table number, this is for number 1. You want to do number 2, change this please. Very important. Always be changing them, and the name that you want to call the table should be here, or the room. You understand? Then you choose the color you want. Okay, you don't need to choose the color. If it's table you are making, you don't change the color. You don't touch anything about the color here. So you have one, each menu contain one single. I've changed this one, so I don't change the color. Let me return it back again. You can see it's now room. Now I'm changing it back again to table. Okay, capital letter. Okay, so I've returned it back. If you close this and open it back, you will see it very well. So shift is all about menu, then item button, item table creation is control. Then you'll be able to make more. So this is how we create all this one. Control plus right click, control plus like, that's how we name all this. Then I use shift to name my menus. There, that is how we get this one done. Do you understand? Okay, very, very important. I think this is what I will be able to explain on this very one. The same way, this particular menu is all about shift. Shift is for you to create all this menu, but remember, once you click on this particular shift and you rename this, everything here it become a button. You can use all this one for your products, use them for product, use them for product, use them for product. And how to create product is, let's say you want to configure this particular product. You first of all copy the part number or the product, and I want it to be what will be here. I put Control key and I right click here, then I paste the part number, then it will call the product out. If I want to change the size of it, I can change it to 14. I can change it to whichever size I want it to be. I can change the color if it is for product. But if it is for table, it's going to contain only one color. Everything is going to be one color. But if it's for product, you can design it the way you want. Now I want to design it to a different color like this. I have designed it and it's going to be a different color. Now when you finish and close it and open it, then the size, the settings you have done will show up well. Look at it here. So that is how the beer is here. Everything about beers I configure. The kitchen items, I configure all the kitchen items here. Then kitchen items, they contain more, so I have to put 1 and 2. I have more of them. You can see everything. This is how I make. And the complementary, I set up my complementary and I set up my void here. And how to set up void is the same thing. Just create a service item that is called void. You understand? That does not have a amount. So once you click here, it will come up as a void. So in the next video, I'll be able to explain how to use them. But this very video is how to set up the table and how to set up menu buttons. You understand? And how to configure it on the maintenance side. That is for this video. I don't know whether is there anything I have not covered or what is not clear in this particular training. How to set up, I will refresh them again. How to set up the menu buttons is the same way to set up the group. Table 1, table 2, table 2 as menus. Is this and here are the same thing. And to set up this very one, all I use is shift right click. You understand? You set up the size you want it to be, then set up everything and the color you save. That is shift right click. Then each of them will produce all this place as a button. Now this button that is here, if it's for product, if it's for product or for table, the same way you do them, it's all about control right click. Control plus right click, then you'll be able to. But if you are using it for product, you just need to copy the part number and put and click enter, it will appear. But if it's for table, you need to change this for your table and put the hash key, put the number you want to use. Then here write the name you want it to show up. If for rooms you want to set up the same thing, write room here, then write 0, 1 and continue to changing this, and come here, write it exactly the way you want it to be, the name you want to show up on your table. Thank you very much. And don't forget that the settings you have here matters a lot. The settings you have here, the settings you have here matters. This place enable you to configure if you want the staff to be able to enter another person's table. Just like in the settings that you have only one staff and one computer, the waitress attend to their guests, attend to the guests and come in. The person that is sitting before the same is already attending to that person. So in this case, you are going to use this way. You understand? You are going to attend to them. They will allow one person to be able to enter everywhere. But in a case that they all check out by themselves, human system, different corners, and each waitress go there and attend to their customers by themselves, and their assistant, they can go there and place order by themselves. In that case, block here, allow the let it be like this so that no one can enter another person's table. And don't forget again, that from the start setup, you will be able to set up whichever number you put it. This 3 here, as I said before, this 3 here means the person can enter another person's table, even if you have enabled the other one. Once you have 3 here, the person has access to enter another person's table, meaning the person balancing the whole styles is the one that you are going to give access to. They can enter anybody's table and check out. Then when you put 1 here, it means they are not permitted to check out their own. They can be placing order, and one person can be the one that will be checking out. Then when you put 3 here, they can place order, print docket, print a bill, but checking out they will not be able when 1 is here. But when 2 is here, they can place order and check out by themselves. Thank you.